talking trendy topics. Interviews with who got motion, we gon' get it poppin'. Just show me stay, we here to stay, nothing they can do about it. Everything 100.
Welcome back to The Fix on this Saturday morning, the Morning Fix, right here on 100.3 The Beat, STL's original station for hip-hop and R&B. Just like we promised, we got special guests in the building, Pops and Jeff from season 37, Amazing Race. What's happening?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Man, this is a full circle moment for me because, you know, y'all actually real, true family, you know, but it's just amazing to have y'all in the studio and just kind of talk about that experience, man. So let's just kind of jump right into it. Season 37, like how did that even come about? Like what was the idea? Like, okay, we going on a competition reality show.
Yeah, bro, about like 2020, I think, is when I really got into competition reality shows. I started watching it during COVID, man. Amazing Race was one of them. I started really liking the game. You know, we couldn't really travel, and you know I love to travel, bro. I like to get up out of here. So, and we couldn't do that, so I'm able to see all these different countries and all these different places, all these different personalities and how competitive everybody was. I think a couple years ago, I started telling Pops, like, man, we're going to go on the Amazing Race, man, and we're going to win it. I was like, we're going to throw the first pitch of the Cardinals game. I just started naming all these different goals for us. And, you know, at first he was more like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? But, I mean, we always come up with different goals. We do everything together, you know. So we always got these plans on what we want to do and what we're going to, you know, put things into doing.
So I guess racing around the world, like, father and son duo, obviously being able to be showcased on TV in a positive light. You really don't see father and son, black father and son, showcased in that way. So, like, how did it help the bond? Was it more arguments? Was it bonding? Was it, like, what was that experience like? Y'all looked at each other like, who would tell the truth?
I think it was more bonding.
Yeah,
it was definitely more bonding, man. I mean, because every time we got into a little hard time, we kind of smiled upon it, like what we gonna do, and did it, but we didn't never like disagree on something that we couldn't do together. We knew together we was gonna ace it. We was gonna knock it out of the park.
And we don't really argue, bro. You know, I don't raise my voice at Pops, and that's out of respect because he Pops, but also because we got a mutual respect for each other. You know,
when you compete and you like, you know, sometimes that might go out the window.
I would say the only time it got a little tense was like, and it wasn't an argument or nothing like that, even not disagreements, but like Pops is super walk by faith, like. I mean, like, he's super positive, and if he thinks something is right, then he's just gonna have a feeling and go off of it. You know what I mean? And I can't, it's hard for me to do that, bro. Like, I gotta know. I'm strategic and calculated. So that was tough for us to find that balance.
All right, there it is, man. We got Pops and Jeff kicking it with us, man, right here on the Morning Fix. We be back after this, man. We got to get into some things that happen off camera. Keep your ears locked. It's The Fix. Welcome back to the Morning Fix right here on 100.3 The Beat, STL's original station for hip-hop and R&B. We got Pops and Jeff from season 37 of Amazing Race.
So tell us, so this is an adventurous show. You guys are doing skydiving, Pops.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jeff, you almost lost your arm in one of the
they almost lost a door.
So just tell me, in that moment when you almost, I guess, lost your arm or lost the door, tell me what was going through you guys' mind when to strategize for this.
That's funny because that's the one moment that stuck with me over the past year, not getting on that train. You know what I mean? So at that time, we could not run in that train station. Like, we got a speed walk. So it's already like overly dramatic just based off of that. We know that Nick and Mike, he saw Nick get out of the ocean like right when we were getting in the cab. So we know they right behind us. I think he saw their cab pull up to the train station while we was going up the steps. So it was like, oh man, we got to figure out. Adrenaline was rushing, man. You thinking 1,000,000 miles per hour. You don't want to, the last thing you want to do is get on a super fast vehicle going the wrong way.
Yeah.
So if we would have got on that train and it wasn't the right train, we would have regretted that forever, right? So at the same time, we still moving towards the train. We did not stop walking towards it, but we just questioned it like, okay, is this the right one? Is this the right one? It's this dude standing there that's kind of trying to tell us. He just didn't seem that reliable though, like for some reason. You remember dude?
Yeah, I know. I remember.
He ended up being a dude that got us all the way to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
But as we getting on and then the doors start closing, as you notice, for you guys to be able to see that shot, our cameraman who has to be with us every step of the way, and I want to make sure I say this, we couldn't outrun any of those crew people. So it's not that they were slow or anything. Those are real athletes. They super fast. They didn't slow us down, but if you notice, he has to be about 10 or 15 feet away to get
So
that money shot.
You couldn't have made it on the train.
We could not have made on that train regardless. And if we would have just
So
slipped
it's a
in there,
lot that happened behind the scenes.
It's
that
a lot
really
of behind
don't
the
show
scenes
up.
stuff.
Like, so what's a moment that happened behind the scenes that you wish was on camera, or an experience that happened off scenes that didn't make it?
well, all right, I'll tell you this. Not that I necessarily wish was on the show because we look stupid, but on the we almost didn't make it to the first leg. When we was leaving Los Angeles, when they tell you, okay, when you get down the steps, grab your packs, go to the airport, fly to Hong Kong. You know, we read the clue, we grab our backpacks, we on our way to the airport, and I start saying, Pops, we don't have our passport, we don't have our international driver's license, none of that stuff.
Y'all forgot it?
Listen, I'm like, man. so before we went, we had to send it to them. Come to find out, we didn't have our whole fanny pack. They give you these fanny packs when you start, and they put all that stuff in there. We had left that at the start line. We didn't know that it was sitting on top of our bags.
They was supposed to be sitting on top of our bag or attached to our bag. So when we were racing down the steps, we only gonna grab our bag and jump in the car. So we grabbed our bag, jumped in the car, but Jeff kept saying, "Man, we need our passport. We need." I said, "It must be an
Especially to
airport
go to
waiting
Hong
on us."
Kong. We got more with Pops and Jeff when we get back after this. It's The Fix.
Yeah.
We still kicking it with Pops and Jeff from Amazing Race season 37. Let's jump back into it. Raven, what's happening?
So being out there, I know that it's a test mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. What's some of the biggest challenges that you feel like you faced during that process and how it may have changed you?
I would say the biggest challenge is, so I love competition reality shows. A lot of them have social games to it, right? You don't really see that a lot on The Amazing Race. Everybody just runs their own race. You don't really see alliances. You don't see somebody targeting the other person. But this was the season of surprises, and it was certain elements like the driver's seat, the double U-turn vote, that you did have to play that social game. It was a challenge, but it's what I wanted to see because I love that side of the competition reality shows. That's what made this one of my favorite seasons, not just because we were on it, but because of the concept that made it into a social game and not just, physical and mental and all that other stuff.
So what's the experience been like since you've been home? Post-show, post-filming, what's that been like?
You mean like since it's been airing?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's something completely different for me and Pops, you know what I mean? We've done a lot of press and a lot of people are showing appreciation for, what we were able to represent on the show. Different places that both of us go, we'll run into people that was like, man, we was yelling at the TV. Oh, we cried when you guys got eliminated, or we were so happy to see how positive you guys were along the way. So it's just getting that positive feedback. I love running into real fans of The Amazing Race who's been watching it for years and can have an appreciation for how we played the game.
So I just want to know, like, was there any foods that y'all had to eat that was like not good, or any crazy smells? Or I know y'all was in Bali, and the monkeys was there. Like, what's
Man, the funny story about the monkeys is I have had interactions with monkeys before. You remember we were in Malaysia, man. We had monkeys running around us. Pops, that was his first time up close and personal with some monkeys. And I had to say, man, Pops, step back. They will rip your face off, man. It was signs up everywhere like, don't look at the monkeys in the eyes. Don't approach them. Don't talk to them.
Pops, you was looking at them in the eyes?
I was so tickled about all these little monkeys sitting there, and I'm like, hey, monkey. And they like, no.
He was like approaching them. Like, it was like 20 little monkeys jumping up and down.
They take your cell phones and all
of that. Yeah.
So I've been seeing a lot of interviews. You've been doing a lot of interviews, and people all in the comments, and they like, oh, they'd be perfect for another show, or they'd be perfect for the challenge or anything like that. So or y'all in it to winning? Would y'all, if the challenge called, would you go on the challenge, or like what do you?
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, I think it falls into that genre, bro, and it's just, I think that could be the next step. You know what I mean? I love the game of the challenge. Like I said, it's social, super physical. I think you get a couple lumberjacks on the challenge. I think a lot of people would like to see how we do on there. So I would love to do the challenge, and I know Pops will be up for any challenge.
All right, where can people find you at? Where can they get tapped in, stay in tune with what's happening? And maybe if you're on another show of the challenge or something come back around, what's your IG and things like that?
We got a joint IG, Pops and Jeff. My Instagram is the.black.lumberjack, the Black Lumberjack. That's the best way to find
Black Lumberjack
us.
with periods in between?
Yeah, periods in between.
Okay.
That's the best way to say it. Yep.
All right, there it is, man. Pops and Jeff, season 37 of Amazing Race, kicking it with us right here on The Morning Fix. We be back after this.
Thank you for tuning in to The Fix every Saturday at 7 p.m. Stay connected with us on all platforms.
You dig that?
At TheFixSTL. And follow your hosts at Nitty Gritty. If you enjoyed today's show, check us out for bonus content, interviews, and exclusive giveaways.